Levi's project focuses on diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma, or DIPG, which is one of the most aggressive pediatric childhood cancers.
It's an absolutely devastating disease, and it's one of the only cancers for which there is actually absolutely no effective therapy. As an oncologist, the worst, most difficult conversation we can have with parents is to tell them your child has DIPG, they aren't curable, we have no treatments, we know that your child is going to die.
Levi was a child that suffered from the aggressive disease, DIPG, and sadly he passed away. And the reason was that at the time we didn't have available options for him.
With Levi's project, we try to achieve the ultimate goal, which is to cure DIPG 100% in all children diagnosed with this disease.
In the past 5 years, we've identified and tested in preclinical models of DIPG new therapies. And these studies have led to the development of phase 1 clinical trials, which are led by Professor David Ziegler. We have developed new protocols based on these therapies that simulate the success of another cancer, acute lymphoblastic leukemia. We have presented our findings in neuro-oncology conferences, and we have set a new paradigm of how children with DIPG should be treated. But our work is not over yet. There's still a lot more that we need to learn and do in the lab. These tumors can actually influence the way anti-cancer agents get into the brain. They can affect the blood-brain barrier. Our aim is to develop blood-brain barrier modulators that can allow anti-cancer agents to get into the brain and treat the tumor more effectively.
In Levi's project, we run the Levi's Discovery Program. So what we take is an idea, different targets within DIPG, so not necessarily based on the molecular characteristics of DIPG, and then we find a drug for that target, and then we test those drugs.
To find and test effective combination therapies with the drug ACT-001, and then to test them in animal models to explore its safety and mechanism of action.
We're all about testing the drugs really quickly and working out which ones are going to work in the kids and then putting that straight into the clinic.
We believe that these studies can lead to the development of new clinical trials that are even more successful, bringing hope in children with DIPG and with better outcomes. The community has played a very big role for us to be able to do our preclinical studies, but also develop clinical trials.
Without the community, we don't get the funds to do the research, and without the research, the kids don't get better treatment options.
Getting more funds to be able to do our research is absolutely vital. There's so much more to do, there's so much more to learn for this disease.
It's really important for us that we see the impact of our work and research on the families and the children impacted by this disease.
This is the Mount Everest of cancers. This was never going to be easy. This is 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. We know in our hearts that we can and we will. We know as hard as it is possible. We know for every other cancer there are treatments, and we don't think this one is any different in terms of if we do it the right way, look in the right places, we will be able to make a difference.
And this is the reason why we're doing what we're doing with Levi's project, to find new treatments, new safe treatments, and make sure that children with DIPG don't have the same outcomes like Levi.